Hey there, and welcome back. If you saw part one, uh, thank you for one, and thank you for putting up all these collection videos that are coming out right now. So if you're a new viewer, uh, thanks a lot. It's actually a good time to hop onto my channel. I'm kind of freshening everything up. I'm showing collection videos and stuff again, so you guys can kind of see what I got here, some of the stuff that I can review. Uh, and with that being said, when I come back, we're going to get into part two of my Scream Factory collection. A lot of slipcovers, a few box sets, and a lot of happiness. I'll be right back.
I actually like the temperatures.
So, first off, you should know that my better half actually likes the temperature that is in the house right now. Did you want me to restart it? Is it okay?
Fine.
Okay. I love you.
I love you too.
Okay, guys. So this is part two of my Scream Factory perfectly temperatured room video. Let's start off with the with some that I picked up. I got these two at a flea market, actually from a guy that I get a lot of stuff from. I actually got some from him a while back, and I got the Gallows. It's a Bloomhouse release, but the movie wasn't in it. It had like the Entourage movie or something like that. So he's actually I was supposed to go pick it up today, like pick up the actual film, but my better half's going, so priorities. And check this time where I'm actually going to do that next week. Uh, So I got Cockneys versus Zombies, and I really did like this actually. This is a very fun movie. First time I saw this, I was really sick, so I didn't get to see it all. I think my better half actually watched all this before I did. Was back when it was on Netflix, right? U.S. Netflix, which you can't get anymore. Yeah, it was, and I enjoyed. Did you like this one? It was fun. It was funny. It was like it. Too many people compared it to Shaun of the Dead, I think, and that it's not Shaun of the Dead, but it's not trying to be Shaun of the Dead. It's its own little film. It's got a great cast in it, actually. Cause what's her name is in this one as well? There's like some great. Michelle Ryan is in this one here. Uh, Man, Honor Blackman is in this. It is a fantastic little film. I really enjoyed this one. I think it's highly underrated. It's really worth checking out. I don't like a lot of the, or I don't haven't checked out a lot of their kind of modern stuff for Scream Factory, but that one I did kind of dig. Next up is Dead Souls. Of course, this is a Chiller TV release, uncut. This has Jesse James in it. What do I know that guy from? Hey, honey, what's Jesse James from? He's like is he a reality star or a theater show or something like that? I have no idea who Jesse James is. I haven't seen this movie yet. Bill Mosley's on. I know he is. I'm not like up on like this stuff. Oh, you know, the Kardashians have been out for quite a while, and I think we were into watching in the lineup somewhere, and I had to ask Hind who about the Kardashians because I wasn't really like up on that. I didn't know who the Kardashians really were because I've never seen that show. No, it's the young dude actually. Uh, he's an American actor. Well then, and a laboratory technician. Laboratory. He's in the Butterfly Effect. Okay, so he's an actor. There's isn't there like some reality star named Jesse James or something like that? He does like kind of motorcycles or some stuff. I got to mix up with that. Thank God it's not that guy. I'm breathing a sigh of relief seeing that it's not. Bill Mosley is in this. I really like Bill Mosley actually. He's in he's got to be into a lot of those Rob Zombie things. Some are good. Some are the Halloween films that aren't good at all by any stretch of the imagination. Though I got a friend at work. He's a young guy, maybe like he's like 20 years old. And he's like, I really enjoyed Rob Zombie's Halloween, and I didn't like the original one. I'm like, I'm going to slap you now. He's like, no. But but actually it was y- younger audience don't always get it, like the way that it's done. I don't want to say get it, but there's like a build and a like suspense that's done. Well, let's not get into it. We'll trust me. Later on in this video, we can get into Rob Zombie rant for an extra reason. But I do like Bill Moseley. He's a good actor. He's Chop Top in, of course, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Love that movie. Very funny, and that's one of the really funny like horror films that doesn't get enough credit for being actually. Dead Souls. Anyway, gotta watch that one of these days. Not high on my list, but I'll watch it one of these days. I got it for very cheap. Next up are two that I really did enjoy, and those are Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight. This is actually a very good film. Billy Zane really does a great job. So does Will Sadler, and just some awesome stuff in this one here. Great features on here, by the way. And just to show you, this is the newer slip cases for the Screen Factories. If you can tell, originally they all had like this blue logo thing on it, and it had like collector's edition like written up here. You'll see them anyway. I got some of those, but they took it out like and gave you more actual. And I kind of like this better. You can actually get more. See that? Just look at that. See the difference? You'll see the difference soon. Don't worry. But Demon Knight's a really good film. It's really fun. Jada Pinkett Smith is in this, and I still like it. I'm not a big fan of Jada Pinkett Smith actually, but I do like her in this film here. I don't know why I'm not a fan of her. I'm just really never. I don't know if many movies I've seen her in. Thomas Haden Church, I think, is in this one as well. This has a really good cast. Definitely the best of the Tales from the Crypt movies. But if you like your Tales from the Crypt with an extra slice of cheese and a little bit of South Lowling, then you're gonna love Bordello of Blood. Dennis Miller stars in this one with Erika Eleniak. There, totally got it out. And Gia Hart and Corey Feldman. Corey Feldman comes across, and Gia Hart both come across really nice in this here in the documentary about this film. Erika Eleniak, she comes up kind of I want something on the screen. Sorry, guys. Kind of a bit full of herself, or like she's trying to be very serious. I understand. She wants to be serious. She's a very beautiful woman. She wants to be seen as a serious actress, and she may be like taking that to another level. But it's okay. Everybody has like a certain way that they act and that they take themselves, and maybe where she is like an attractive girl, she found it harder to be taken seriously, and that does happen. This is Hollywood. That stuff happens a lot. So I can see if she wanted to like be more standoffish or distant, and like some people can see that as being like oh what a what a bitch type of thing. But no, she has the right. This is her job. She can do that. She goes and does her job. She goes back afterwards. Dennis Miller was a dick. He was pretty much a dick in this film. But you know what? It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, he pretty much improvises his lines. He throws out all the lines pretty much, and he's still the best part of the film. I totally hate Dennis Miller when it comes to the political aspect of it. He's got something. He didn't always have those thoughts. It just happened like it kind of happened. Dennis Miller kind of went like loco. But Dennis Miller is an extremely talented comedian, which you cannot take away from Dennis Miller, whether you like the actor or the guy or not. And I'm not really a big fan of the guy, like personally, what his personal feelings are, but he makes this film. This film would not be half the film that it is without Dennis Miller in it. Anybody else in that role just wouldn't work as well. It may have came across more as a straight horror film, but Bordello of Blood doesn't have the legs to stand alone just as a straight horror film. I really don't think it does. So and Dennis Miller did his stuff. Awesomeness. She really doesn't like Dennis Miller, so she's like, I can't believe you even said anything good about him. But you got to give somebody their due. You really do. Next up is a great Wes Craven film. Again, this one is a bit in the kind of the comedy aspect of it too as well. It's a bit of scariness, but there's a lot of humor, and it's The People Under the Stairs. I love this cover, by the way. This is so sexy. We're gonna spend some time alone. No. It's really cool. They got like some good features on here as well. Great cast. If you're a fan of Twin Peaks, two of the stars of Twin Peaks are on here. Well, Everett McGill and Wendy Robbie are both from Twin Peaks. They're on here. We got Ving Rhames on here, AJ Langer. It is a fantastic cast. If you haven't checked it out, no, what am I saying? Everybody, you've probably checked out People Under the Stairs by now. It's a Wes Craven film. It's a classic. Next up is another classic for other reasons, Wes Craven film, and that is the cheese fest that is known as Shocker. Yes, with Mitch Pileggi. I loved this film. It's not a great film. It's extremely cheesy, and some things come off as like maybe not the best. But I did. I really liked this film. He really embraced the character, and even though there's like a lot of flaws within the film and the way that it's structured, I had fun with it. I knew going in. This is one of the films where Hin would probably say, why did you make me watch this? We'll watch this one these days. It's actually really good. But no, I like Shocker. It's a fun film. This is a great box. Great box. By the way, we have some like great, oh, obviously I didn't change the cover on this one. There is another cover though. Why didn't I change it? So, because yeah, that's the other cover. So most people know it as, and I just like this cover like a lot, so I didn't change it over. People Under Stairs, I think I did. That one has the classic cover on the inside. So for some of these, just so you can see what the difference are, especially these collector's editions, there's the original one for Good Old Blood, and there is the original for Demon Knight. Next up is a classic, but here's one where if you have the DVD, of it, there's a lot of features on the DVD that you did not get the rights to. I do have the DVD, and I'm proud I got the DVD actually. So get the DVD, buy the Blu-ray because that's a great transfer, and have the Ultimate Edition. That's what I got. So it's Cat People, great film, Malcolm McDowell. And as you can see, here we go. This is the blue collector's strip that was there, as opposed to this here. So you can sound off if you want to in the comments section down below. Let me know which one you like better. Do you like the blue? Do you miss the blue strip? Are you glad that you got more artwork? I like the more artwork, but some people may be very kind of like OCD about it and want to have them all like that. But I kind of dig the new way. And again, it does have the original cover on the inside. The extremely beautiful Natasha Kinski. Isn't she a? She is. Those are real eyes. Her eyes really that green. And it's not just her that's gorgeous. Also, Annette O'Toole is in this movie as well. Yep, Superman's mom is in this movie from Smallville. She is. This is a great job. She's very young in this film. John Hurd's in this. We've got Malcolm McDowell. Oh man, I really did love this movie. It is a beautiful movie. In my humble opinion. Next up is kind of a comedy horror one again, and that is Lake Placid. I saw this movie in theater. I didn't think I was going to like it, to be honest with you. All I knew was that the guy that made Ally McBeal had done a kind of a monster film, a monster horror film. And I was like, well, it says Bill Pullman, Bridget Fonda, and Oliver Platt. And people wonder, why isn't Betty White's name on there? Well, Betty White, who is a really big part of the film, and actually makes the film, wasn't the big megastar like that she is now. Betty White is pretty much a name, kind of like when you think like Chuck Norris and all the memes and all that stuff. She's like a name like that, except that she's still doing stuff. She's doing stuff that is a lot more interesting than Chuck Norris's stuff lately. And she's a really fun older lady. She's become like an icon. But back then she was working, trying to find work. And she was she did the Golden Girls, and she was looking for work to find her place. This was before she did. And Lake Placid is actually a really fun film. There's the other artwork, and I do like this. I do love the artwork for Lake Placid. Next up is another favorite of mine, and that is Class of 1984. It took me a long time to get this movie. My better half knows how much this movie meant to me and how long I was looking for it. I had the Anchor Bay version, and when I came out here, I sold off like 95% of my films to to get here, and one of them was the classic, which I discovered art on, I think, for past 1984. I do love this movie a lot. There's some great features on here too. The interview with uh, with the lead actor. Oh man, is it's incredible. And Timothy Van Patten was in this film. He did a great job. Lisa Langolis. This is one of the other when I said the Lisa Langolis films, and I mentioned The Nest. This is one of the other Lisa Langolis films here, Class of 1984. I'm pretty much sure it was Class of 1984, The Nest, and Daily Eyes were the three that Lisa Langolis did that came up for Scream Factory. If there's any other ones, let me know, just in case I don't have them. And I'm actually a big fan of that actress, so she actually plays she's like the evil character in this one here, and they all give Perry King like a hell of a time. Uh, this is a great film. I really recommend it. I highly recommend it. Next up is another fantastic little kind of revenge film, and that is Mad Max. I'm not sure why this is a Scream Factory release and not just a Shout Factory. Probably because around this time, Scream Factory itself was getting a bit of a marquee, and they were very popular. So they were shoving stuff on Scream Factory that maybe I think Mad Max would have sold anyway. So they didn't really need it, and I don't see it. Do you really see it as Scream Factory? Maybe when I think of Scream Factory, I kind of think of horror and the cheesiness. I know like there's kind of maybe like the grindhouse feel and a little bit of sci-fi can be put in there. But if that's the case, then there's a lot of Shout Factory releases that come out on a daily basis that could just have the Scream Factory logo slapped on them just to have it there. But yeah, it's a Scream Factory anyway. Mad Max, great cover art. Gonna switch there. So that's really cool. To see that guy on the cover. It's not Mad Max. No, watch the movie. This is the other guy. This is his friend, actually. That's not Mad Max. That's his friend, remember? The one, yeah, he's kind of a lanky guy. That's him. Mad Max not on the cover. Oh, God, what's his name? I can't remember it all now. But I remember, like, even when I was a kid, like, saying, kind of being surprised.
Are you sure?
Oh, I'm sure. If you watch the movie, there is a character that looks just like this. He's kind of I think he's blonde, kind of sandy-haired guy, and kind of a lankier guy. He's like Mad Max's friend, and I think he's in the when they go into is it a diner or something like that they go into? He's there, and the mask he wears that. Mad Max doesn't. See, Mad Max is like he's got a car, and I'm pretty sure this guy's got a bike or something, doesn't he? I'm showing the car there, but not Mad Max's car. He's a cop too. But guys, if you remember who the guy is, because it's been a while since I've seen the movie. I actually saw Part 2, Road War, in theaters a while back at the Digital Film Festival. Really, really enjoyed it. But if you remember this character's name here, this is not Mad Max, but if you remember who the character is, feel free to put it in the comment section down below. Because that's killing me right now. After I finish this video, I'm going to go look and see who it is. One of the times when the guy's not on the cover, right? On the poster. But then again, you have to understand when Mad Max came out, one I think in North America, or at least in the United States, they dubbed over the voices because that Australian voice mightn't be. Anyway, Terror Train. Love this movie. If you've seen like my videos at all, if you've seen like a very nice guy, absolute sublime. He does this like what scares you at every Halloween, and I was in it like once or twice. I was supposed to be in this one, but I just didn't get dinner time. It was really nice to let me know ahead of time, so I really had no excuse. It was just crazy busy, especially that time of year for me, because where I work. In the section that I used to work in, they were doing kind of enrollments into like benefits and like healthcare and all that stuff, and we were like pretty much working 7 days a week at that time. So yeah, if you work for that company, you probably know who I work for right now just by me saying, hey, in October time, it gets really busy for me, and I'm getting your benefits for you. But Terror Train is one that scared me as a kid. I won't go into like total details, but basically, I was 12, got home, got ready to watch the movie. I think it was on like ABC or NBC. It's one of those channels type of thing. There's only three to choose from back then, and it was like for Halloween, he had it on. But I was sent to bed. It was too late, and the movie might be too scary for me. However, my bedroom was right next to the television set, which was kind of up on blast. Well, my mom, my stepdad watched the movie, so I was petrified under the blanket, imagining probably a much, much scarier film than this film could ever be. Next up is a classic. It has Kathy Podwell as Linnea Quigley. It has a girl that would legitimately, I'm not going to lie to you, she became a pet psychic. Night of the Demons. Not only did she become a pet psychic, but Rue McClanahan, she's related to. So there's your second Golden Girls reference in this video. Night of the Demons is a really fun film. Kevin S. Tenney, again, remember the guy that did Witchboard? When I showed you that one? That was like, had a ton of features on it, but wasn't a collector's edition. This one has pretty much the same amount of features in its collector's edition. I'm not sure why one got boxed and the other didn't, but both of them are fantastic films. Of course, this one is very well known. They did a remake of this one, which Kevin S. Tenney actually, although a lot of people give the remake hell, the director himself, he said he did like the way the remake was done, and he had planned to do a follow-up to it. That he had like really solid like storyline to go with. So that's really cool. And again, it's Night of the Demons. Love that movie. This is a classic. My better half didn't like this one as much as the second one, but she did like it. And that is Pumpkinhead. I really like this film. It's kind of got like the southern gothic horror, kind of like a horror story that's going to be told around a campfire. I do like that aspect of it, and I do like these revenge horror stories. Lance Henriksen is just such an incredible actor. It is a really good cast in this. One of the guys that was in this would go on to do Sequest, right? One of the bad guys in this is in Sequest. You know, the dark-haired guy. I was in Sequest, and he was in like I think it was the teacher in Third Rock from the Sun too. But I remember mostly from Sequest, DSV. So DSV, right? DSV, yeah. Love the cover art on this one. Not a big fan of this. Interesting art, but it seems more like it doesn't seem like a poster as much as it just was like a lobby card or something like that. It never really seemed like something that would be on the case. So if this is on your case somewhere, like in some other country or something, like let me know, because this was never on any cases that I've ever seen. Next up is another comedy horror. I do like the ones that kind of mix the comedy and horror together. And this one, my better half, I don't think she's ever seen, but I'll let her watch it with me sometime. She actually get a kick out of it. It's called Motel Hell. Very kind of a silly film. Rory Calhoun is in this. Plays Farmer Vincent, and he has Farmer Vincent smoke meats. And actually, there's a small role by the guy John Ratzenberg, who plays Cliff from Cheers, and you know many people know him from the Toy Story films. But Motel Hell is a really fun film. It's a funny film, and it's very dark humor. You know, you can't take it seriously. It's not going to scare you, but it is an enjoyable film. I really do like it. I've got the poster to this one as well. This came on during the sale, and I was lucky enough to get the poster. Next up is Prince of Darkness, John Carpenter film that I really do enjoy. Alice Cooper actually has a small part in this, and it's really cool that he does. Actually, he does a good job in it. It's a silent type of role. You know, we got Donald Pleasance in here. We got the guy from Simon and Simon. What's his name? James Parker. Right? Is it James Parker? Yeah, James Parker. I really love this movie. I got to see it with my dad in the theater, and that makes it even more special for me because I'm the child of a happy divorce, and that my parents like got separated when I was about 3, and that was not that there was they just weren't did mesh as a couple type thing, which was good actually. I had a I had a good upbringing. My grandparents brought me up, and I was very lucky to be surrounded by a very loving family. And I loved my mom, loved my dad, I loved my stepdad, like all people that I really cared about. So I got an extended. I was lucky. I was really lucky that way. So, but me and my dad, we got to really know each other when I got older and got out on my own. We got to watch this one actually, Prince of Darkness, in the theater together, and it was really cool. I was like in the winter, and I walked home by myself. He offered to give me a ride, but I was like, "No, I'm tough. I'm not scared. This movie didn't scare me." And I had to go through the graveyard to do it, and I'm like going through because it's like we got a lot of snow in the area back where I lived at then. It was in Cornerbrook, and I was going back to my mom's because I was going to school. It's grade 9, I think, at the time. I think it was grade 9, 10, something like that. Yeah, probably grade 9, 1987, yeah. So I'm walking through, and I realize I'm hitting something hard, and I think, well, was it a rock? And then I realized there's no rocks in the graveyard. I'm like, no, standing on a tombstone. So I booted it. Like, it's just a tombstone. So there's no reason to actually be like freaked out or anything like that. It's not like a hand came up and grabbed me. But it just made me suddenly aware of my surroundings that I'm after finished watching a horror movie where, well, pretty much evil comes through, and I'm just walking through a graveyard, and I'm like, maybe I'm not so brave after all, and I just went on. But yeah, it was a fun experience. I really enjoyed the movie, and I still like it today. I have the very first two Scream Factories that ever came out. These actually came out at Best Buy, which is a real surprise because Best Buy didn't get a lot of Scream Factories around here. Very few, actually. But they got this one, and I was really happy about it. That was Halloween 2, the this collector's edition. Fantastic. Ton of features. A ton of features. Spent a long time. Like, just look at these features here. Some people gave this one up and this one here, Halloween 3, up afterwards. I do love Halloween 2. I think it's a great movie. And I do love Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. It's a much different film. It's not in the same vein. And if Carpenter had, been able to keep doing the films, he would not have done like Return of Michael Myers type of thing. What he would have done was he would have done like a separate standalone horror film with the Halloween name on it. However, this one, people were not very happy at the time that Michael Myers only showed up as a cameo of, in the bar of somebody actually watching Halloween on the film, on TV. So Silver Shamrock did not get to do anything after this. But this one has Tom Atkins and Stash. And this is the guy that would become, this is epic. He's epic in this. He's epic in all this stuff. Maniac Cop, this one here, and Night of the Creeps, Thrill Me. Just such amazingness in both these films. I love both these films. These are great releases. They all have some awesome special features. Highly recommended. Unless, of course, you get the other one, which we'll get into. Also, I have They Live. This was a gateway drug for a lot of people. There was a lot of people that were waiting to see this movie come out on Blu-ray. Scream Factory put it out, and when they did, this was kind of like the first buy for a lot of people. Whenever I watch a lot of these videos, I think Nathan, who was just in Empty Theater, and Logan Toxic, I think this may have been one of the first that they picked up at the time because they're big fans of They Live. And I know there's a lot of people were like, okay, we've got to get They Live. It had to get that. So I do actually still have it with the buy sticker on it, which I do find it's kind of cool because that was put on there, obviously, the movie. Some people took it off and said, no, but I kept it. I have John Carpenter's The Fog. I love this film. I hate the remake. The remake of it was horrible. And I do like Tom Welling. I was a huge fan of Smallville. But the Fog remake was... Maybe I got to watch it again or something, but I got it here somewhere. On DVD, I think I bought it at a flea market for 25 cents, and it didn't even have a case or anything like that. So, but I'll check it out one of these days again. But I really didn't like it when I saw it. This one here, I love. It's a great film. There's some fantastic features on there as well. When the interview with Jamie Curtis on there is great. The Tales from the Mist is fantastic. It's just a really good ghost story. It's got a nice story to it, and I was a huge fan. Next up is a favorite of my better halves, actually, and that is Escape from New York. This is the kind of John Carpenter movie she'd watch. She likes Kurt Russell a lot. She likes the character Snake Plissken. Me too. I actually have a got Escape from L.A. I bought it at a Dollarama for like $3 or something like that, $2 or $3 on Blu-ray actually. So that was kind of cool. Not a great movie, not but it's fun in a different way. I actually champion Escape from LA. Like it's not Escape from New York. Escape from New York's a classic, amazing film, but Escape from LA works in a very different way. Uh, but I do. And the cast in this one: Kurt Russell, Isaac Hayes, Donald Pleasance, Ernest Borgnine, Lee Van Cleef, Susan Hubley, Harry Dean Stanton, and of course the beautiful Adrienne Barbeau. Early John Carpenter with Assault on Precinct 13. Excellent movie. Fantastic score on this film. Did you like the remake, huh? I love the original. The remake's okay. It's okay. I mean, it's not going to touch the original. Have you seen the original?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the original? Like a long time ago?
Oh, yes, it's hard.
I really like this one. The villain in this is really good. And actually, I got to watch this one again soon. It's one of those movies that I really enjoy. Next up is another classic that The Burning, one of the 1982 classics. Basically, when Friday the 13th Part 2 was coming out, when Mad Men was coming out, the one that was actually what I consider is probably the best. And Friday the 13th Part 2 is one of the best Friday the 13th movies out there. But The Burning is a classic slasher film. It's really well done. Tom Savini does some great work on this here. He basically does he does the character, it's Cropsey, some great scenes, and there's some great actors. We got me yawning, always a good thing. Uh, but we have like Jason Alexander from Seinfeld, who's actually kind of a cool character in this movie. You don't picture like Jason Alexander as the cooler guy, but it's like he plays this guy that you want to hang out with type of character. Holly Hunter is in this one here. Fisher Stevens is in this movie. It's a great cast. I mean, like it's a really great cast. And it's really well acted. I did like The Burning. I liked it a lot actually. Next one is a trilogy. I do love these films. First one is Sleepaway Camp, and I think this is a really cool movie. The kills in this one are really good. Pretty much the actors are they weren't actors. A lot of these people weren't like professional actors that did this movie. Does it show him? Does it show? I think Felissa Rose did a really good job on it. Now she plays Angela, and she would grow up to be an extremely beautiful lady. Actually, no idea. And I remember like seeing her years later, and she was like, I was like, wow, she really grew up well. And she's been in other movies too. I saw her in Return to Sleepaway Camp. Oh man, it's not a good movie. She deserved better. A lot of those actors deserve better than that. They could have done way better with Return to Sleepaway Camp. Did I make you watch Return to Sleepaway Camp? I'm sorry. That one I will apologize for. That was a bad movie. But Sleepaway Camp is a classic. A lot of fun. I love this here art. And once you see the movie, the cover comes across even more humorous. Much in sort of better in a way is actually Sleepaway Camp 2. It doesn't take itself seriously. It's not the serious shocker slasher that this is. This is pure out, like, pardon the pun, camp. It's very much a comedy. Pamela Springsteen, and yes, that is Bruce Springsteen's sister. She's quit acting now. She's actually a very famous photographer. Plays Angela Baker, who's now a camp counselor. And she's at Camp Rolling Hills. There's a lot of campers that are doing things that campers should not be doing, and Angela teaches all of them a lesson. It's a lot of fun. It's really funny, and Brian Patrick Clark is in this one, who was in like General Hospital. And what I remember Brian Patrick Clark from General Hospital, to be totally honest with you, is I'm an epileptic, and he played like two characters, and one of them was like this evil like spy type of like Grant Putnam was like an evil character. So what he would do to get away from his like wife, so he could do like evil spy things and stuff, was he would give her phenobarbital and knock her out, and when she would wake up, she would remember like some stuff. Well, I take phenobarbital on a daily basis. Never once have I been knocked out and not remember things, but maybe somebody that doesn't take it. I don't know. Maybe there's certain dosage you got to take for that type of thing. But I just thought it was humorous, and I always remember the character and the actor because of that. So when I saw him in other things, kind of something that I said. Renee Estevez is in this as well. It's a great film. It's just really fun. Did you? That was a fun one. Doesn't take itself seriously. The third one seemed to be was a kind of a fun film, cheesy film too. It seemed to be rushed more than the other one was, but I gotta say I liked it. I really liked what it was done. So there's the Sleepaway Camp trilogy. You put all three of them out. Next up is Body Bags. I spent a lot of time searching for this movie. Couldn't find it anywhere. I didn't want to get it online. I wanted to find it in store. Went to Ottawa. Went to like about half a dozen different stores trying to find this movie. Last place we went, the store was, we didn't know it was closing down. And we started buying stuff from there. They had some amazing stuff. I really wish I would have bought some more stuff from that store. They had such good stuff. Such good stuff. I love John Carpenter's Body Bags. It's a very fun film. Mark Hamill actually does a great job in this. Stacey Keach is great in this. You gotta check it out. It's a great anthology. Next up is the favorite movie for my little Cass. She's not little, she's 16 now. And for my son as well. This is both of their favorite, one of their favorite movies, and that's Dolls. I love this movie. It's a great film. I actually put this in the great presentation, amazing documentaries on here, good audio commentaries as well. I put this as one of my tops actually of the year when I was doing like a top list of the year this one came out. It's pretty high up there. Was like close to number one or wasn't number one, I'm not sure, but I really did enjoy this movie. Next up is Darkman with Liam Neeson. Actually has a Liam Neeson interview on it, and it's not like mentioned in here, like a new interview with Liam Neeson. I like this. Larry Drake, plays the bad guy in this one, of course. He plays Durant. It's just a cool movie. When I was in journalism school, actually, I used to sketch pictures, and one of the pictures that I sketched was of Darkman. And my roommate at the time was going to like visual arts, doing art, and the teacher came to get him because he didn't show up for like a couple classes. And so he actually came to the room, and he was kind of like chewing them out a bit. And he saw like the drawings that I had on there, and I'm by no means that good of an artist. So I don't think I am anyway. But he wanted me to switch from journalism to visual arts, and I was like, nah, I'm good. I did later on though. Next up is Night of the Comet. Lovely, fantastic, wonderful 80s cheese. If you haven't seen it, you should. Embrace the 80s of it though, because it is very 80s film. Just look at that hair. How 80s is that hair? That is the way hair should be now. The big hair. We had style in the 80s. Class. Style. Next up is Nightbreed, the director's cut. Again, another movie that I really, really enjoy. This has been a favorite of mine for like a long time. And, oh man. It's just Craig Schaefer. David Cronenberg's back in this, right? You remember Nightbreed? You've seen Nightbreed? I think Cronenberg's psychiatrist, like the killer. Spoiler alert. But this time I hope you've seen Nightbreed. But it's a fantastic film. Well, not really a spoiler. That's actually not something that comes out at the end. It's like earlier on in the film you find out that. Lord of Illusions, actually. I did like this movie as well. Harry D'Amour. This is a character that Clive Barker wrote. And I don't like what he did with him in Scarlet Gospels. But I don't know. Clive Barker is kind of like some weird stuff, but it's Clive Barker. But I did like this movie. Scott Bakula I like, and great, great film. You got like Famke Jensen in this one as well. So, love this cover here, kind of artsy. Oh, by the way, in case you want to see the Nightbreed cover, it's the classic. I put out a different edition of Nightbreed as well. Now there's Ginger Snaps, great movie, wonderful werewolf movie. It's a Canadian film. It's part of the Canucksploitation ones. This artwork that they showed here, I had not seen before. I'd seen a couple different artworks for Ginger Snaps, but I'd never seen that one. This introduced us to the very, 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 very lovely Catherine Isabel that will go on to make a pretty good career when it comes to horror and stuff. That she's, of course, within Bloody Mary. She's a star of that one. Scene of Evil 2, she's in that one. I was not a big fan of that. And I like the Soska sisters, but Scene of Evil 2 just, I don't know, maybe I got to rewatch it, but it kind of left me flat. She, of course, was in Freddy vs. Jason. She got cut off early in that. People were all excited because there's like a nude shower scene for her character because she's a very beautiful lady, but it was an obvious double, and then people were well, you know. And Emily Perkins, I think she was married to the director. She married the director afterwards. Anyway. Next up is this is a really good one actually. It's From Beyond. I love this movie, and as you guys know, I got to meet Jeffrey Combs, and he was really awesome. I would love to meet Barbara Crampton. She seems like an amazing lady. Like most people in the '80s, we're all in love with Barbara Crampton. She was just this incredibly like vibrant, like wonderful actress. Uh, and you know, it's a great cast. We got Ken Frey, Ted Sorrell. Uh, Definitely one worth checking out. Is it as good as Reanimator? For me, it was actually, because I did find this a really fun movie. Jeffrey Combs, when I spoke to him about it, because I talked to him about this one here, I said, you know, you did a really good job in From Beyond, and he was like, I think I was a miscast. He didn't want to play the role that he played in that movie. Actually, he thought that the guy that acted with him in a Reanimator, and his name like escapes me right now, would have been a better choice for the role. That he liked the Herbert West character that he did, and he thought, you know, this was a perfect character for him. And he thought he was kind of miscast in From Beyond, and I was like flabbergasted. Sorry, because he was so good in this movie. I remembered it was one of those childhood favorites of mine. I watched over and over again. That had nothing to do with the fact that Barbara Crampton was in a leather dominatrix outfit in one scene. Nothing to do with that at all. But still, it's a fantastic film. This really is a fantastic film. There's Dr. Pretorius. Last but definitely not least is my favorite of the George Romero Dead films, Day of the Dead. I love Dawn of the Dead. It's a great film, but Day of the Dead just hit me a little bit more personally. I love the way this film is done. There's a great full-length documentary on here. Pretty cool artwork. I like this a lot. I think Kim found the artwork to be busy when she looked at it. That was her thing. But the guy that does this is called The Dude Designs. He's a really good artist. He finds that some of his work tends to be a little bit busy. But no, I liked it. I thought the artwork was pretty good. Of course, it's a classic one right there. Great film. Great special features. So here's the big thing. We got 4 more. And what are those 4? Well, they're box sets. So here we go. First up is the Vincent Price Collection Volume 1. I don't have Volumes 2 or 3. We'll get them down the road. So we got Pit and the Pendulum, Mask of the Red Death, The Haunted Palace, The Fall of the House of Usher, Bombo Dr. Phibes, and Witchfinder General. Some of these movies I have in other editions now, actually. As you know, because you've seen my Arrow collection. Hopefully you watched the video. So this got some great features on it, though. I mean, like some really good stuff. Basically, there's some audio commentaries on this. This is the ones where I will stop talking about some features. Got introductions by Vincent Price on basically almost all these movies, all except for the Bomb Dr. Phibes. Where there's 2 commentaries on Dr. Phibes, though. There's some amazing stuff. Witchfinder General, Michael Reeves Horror Classic. There's a lot of stuff that was carried over. I'll open it up here for you guys so you can see it. So there's like a couple on a disc. type of thing. Witchfinder Journal gets its own disc. Dr. Five gets its own disc, which I thought was pretty cool. You can see the different artwork. There's kind of like the skulls there and the actual ladies there. It did come with a booklet as well, which is actually pretty cool. It's not like a big booklet, but the good thing about it is that it's got some cool pictures on here. It opens well, so that you're not worried about the spine, like any breakage in the spine, which is pretty cool. And I remember I was so excited when my better half got me this set. I was like really, really happy. First set I ever got from Scream Factory, however, was done like in a, oh my God, that is the Amityville Horror. The trilogy. And I love these. Part 2 is my favorite. But I thought all 3 of them were good. Now, Part 3 is actually in 3D, so if you got a 3D TV, it actually comes out pretty good, and I really enjoyed watching it. I like that. So it's not an Analgraph 3D, it's actual like real TV 3D, which is what I want. So there's first one, For God's Sakes, Get Out. Other commentary on there as well. There's like a documentary. When this was put out on the MGM, like they put out a 3, kind of like the series without, Amityville 3 was on. It wasn't in 3D, of course. I had a 4th disc, like a documentary disc on there, with some documentaries from History Channel. Well, they couldn't get the rights to that, so I actually went out and I got that. My dad got me that disc, so I have that disc as well. But again, it's Margot Kidder, and as you guys know, because I've spoken many times on the fact I adore Margot Kidder. Amityville Horror, a great little film. A slow burn, but a lot of horror house, haunted house stories are. My God, I have my mouth isn't working today. It's just not. Amityville 2, The Possession. They put a lot of writing on the poster of this one. You can spend a while reading that. Let's see. The night of February the 5th, 1976, George and Kathleen Lutz and their 3 children fled the home in Amityville, New York. They got out alive. A living nightmare shocked audiences around the world in the Amityville Horror, but before them another family lived in this house and were caught by the original evil. They weren't so lucky. This is their story. Oh my God! That's a lot to put on a poster. Nowadays it's like, but it's cool because nowadays it'd be just like a bunch of faces. Like, the screen thing then. But there's some great features on here. This one never had features before. That was really cool to get like some interviews with some of the actors. Andrew Prine's on this, Diane Franklin. Great cast. I really do like this movie. It's got some, it's very Italian. It's done by an Italian director, and it does have that Italian feel to it. So when you're going in, know that. And you'll know right away anyway, because if you watch any Italian films, you're going to get that feel right away. Next up is Amityville 3D, actually in 3D. That is its only feature set from a trailer, but isn't that an amazing feature to have? To see it the way it was in the theater, in 3D, in your face, in really good 3D, and not what people nowadays call gimmick 3D, and I call real 3D. Not the fake 3D that you had years have now, where it's oh look, we're bringing you into the picture. It's more like a painting. No, put stuff right in my face. That's what I want to see. I want to see Jason shoving a machete in my face. I want to see the yo-yo coming out of the screen. I want to see the paddleboard. I don't want to see oh look, it's more layered. Layer your characters. Do better writing. Show me that. Layer your script. 3D your script, and that'll impress me. And then give me so-called quote-unquote gimmick 3D. I think I'll work with that. I said there was another version of Nightbreed. Here it is, given me by a good friend of mine. Nightbreed, the Director's Cut, limited edition. I have number 6,381 of 10,000. This was when this was originally coming out. This was an expensive one, actually. I was very upset that they were doing it like this, and that you could get this one, you could get the other one. And I came on here. If you go back, and it's one of my more viewed videos. I was shame on you, Scream Factory, for putting it out like this. So I'm a hypocrite because I own it. Not only do I own it, but we bought another edition of this for my son for his birthday, and it's quickly became one of his favorite films. It was one of the first things he packed when he was packing up for going to Ontario. So it has the director's cut, as you've seen it before. I'll open it up, and you've already seen what the alternate cover is, but it has the bonus disc, which is one of the things everybody wanted, was this really cool bonus disc. Got a bunch of stuff on here as well. A lot of different features and deleted scenes, a lot of cool stuff. What was kind of exclusive to the set is the theatrical cut. So we have the original like theater cut. Some people actually prefer the theater cut, and on Blu-ray. So you get another cover, and actually seen that cover a few times for Nightbreed. So there's no real features on that except for that, and you also get the book. So better make sure this stuff might have some nudity in there. So, but anyway, some great stuff. A really well put together edition. I take back my Shea Menu Scream Factory rant. Sort of. Actually, no, I don't, because at the time I was very upset about it. I got over it. Originally it was only 5,000 copies being made, and so there's some like what I like to call scalpers that'll go out and they'll buy a bunch because they're going to be limited, and then they're going to put them on eBay and sell them for a lot more money. And normally I'm like all the power to you for like doing something to make extra money, but it's always bugged me. It's one of the things that's bugged me. But I'm actually a guy that like pays a bit of money to get stuff like that sometimes on eBay, and I'm always like, oh, why can't you sell it for a decent price? Be a nice human being, but they're not. So when it got up to 10,000 copies, like so many of them got pissed off because they just like already invested money in buying a couple of them. But yeah. Ironically, people that ordered the original one ended up sometimes getting the limited edition. I just looked at it because it was really hard to get. Last but definitely not least is one that people thought was never going to happen. I got mine from Future Shop. Future Shop is no more. It saddens me. I remember the day that this came out, we were literally parked in the parking lot to wait to go into Future Shop to get at the time was the only copy of this. My better half had went there the day before. They couldn't sell it too early. So we were in the parking lot. I had to go to work, but we were waiting because I wasn't going to go to work until I had this baby in my hands. And it is the 15-disc Halloween, the complete collection. So some people like talk about the fact that it's not completely complete because it doesn't have the theatrical cuts of the Rob Zombie films. But they're the Rob Zombie films. Really, they're just a bonus. I don't think anybody really takes them seriously as Halloween films. Nor should they. But here we go. First off, there's the book, which is very cool. Very well known, Gallus. We're not going to start with the Rob Zombie one. Here, I'll show you part 6 picture rather than show you the Rob Zombie picture. Oh man. This is Halloween. This is the Blu-ray. This is actually the anniversary, the 35th anniversary edition that came out in this like kind of like flimsy looking like digibook type of thing. I was so excited to get the 35th anniversary edition of it, and I was going to buy it on Blu-ray. We were actually traveling, and I think we were in Cornerbrook. We were going to Cornerbrook at the time. We were in Gander. I went into to Walmart, and I saw it there, and it was so thin and so like I'm like I can't. I love Halloween, but I can't do it. And I'm glad I waited because they literally just put it over here. And like it's a 2-disc edition. There's some great features on here. They got the original Cut Above the Rest on here. New commentary with Dean Cundey and Tommy Lee Wallace. We got a really cool The Night She Came On, which is a really great feature because like Jamie Lee Curtis like put herself away from the films for a very long time. Again, it has like two discs on here. It has the original audio as well. Like the audio was kind of messed up. And they're like, I'm not sure the mono audio or something, but it has the right audio, which is cool. Next up is Halloween 2. As you know, you've seen my other edition. This is pretty much the Scream Factory edition of Halloween. So with the same thing. It has the television version of there as well. And I did really dig the fact that they have the TV version on there. Next up, of course, is Season of the Witch. As you can see, they all use kind of like the poster art. If you've seen these in theater, you know these are the poster art. And I do like that they did that. And again, it's the Scream Factory edition of Halloween 3, so they really did need to do a lot with that one. It was already put together. Next up is Part 4, and some copies of was it Part 4 or Part 5, had issues. A lot did, actually, with the sound. Like the sound went down or went low or something, or went off sync, went out of sync. When I watched mine, I didn't notice any sound going out of sync, so if it did on a very, very minor basis to the point where I didn't notice it. And out of sync, I do notice a lot. It's one of my pet peeves when that happens. But during Halloween one year, me and my son actually watched all this box set and reviewed them all. So if you want to check them out, we do have reviews for every one of the Halloween films on here. Next up is number 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, with the Dick Tracy ending. If you've seen it before, you know exactly what I mean. It's a conflicted movie, but I do still dig it. Some of the stuff they did with Loomis was questionable, but not so questionable once you watch Rob Zombie's Halloween. This was the big one. This is the one everybody was excited about. Everybody wanted this one. Curse of Michael Myers. Often considered one of the lesser Halloween sequels for some, and other people think it was amazing. Here's why. Because when this movie came out, we only got to see this, not what's called the director's cut even, but we got to see the theatrical cut. But there was a producer's cut. Joe Chappelle was shoved on as director of Halloween 6. He treated everybody like dirt. He treated Donald Pleasance bad. He treated the lead actress bad. He made her feel bad about herself. He spoke badly about the way that she looked, and he rejected much of the work that had been put in by the writer Daniel Ferrens, who went on to do a lot of really, really great documentaries. Now, Halloween Curse of Michael Myers has a ton of features on it. The most important thing that everybody wanted to see was the producer's cut, and that is on here as well. So you get the producer's cut with a bunch of special features that had only been seen as in bootlegs, and nobody had ever thought it would get even a real kind of DVD release, let alone finally getting a Blu-ray release that was exclusive to this set right here until they put it out a little bit later, I think, on its own. Next up is Halloween H2O 20 years later. Again, huge fan of that. Now, the one that's on its own, by the way, has no features on it. So just know that going in. So if you can't get the box set, I do recommend it. This was a return of Jamie Lee Curtis to the series. Of course, the mask issues were in there. There's a new making of H2O on here. I'd love to rewatch the making ofs again. They were so well done. The much maligned Halloween film, Halloween Resurrection. People hate this one a lot because Jamie Lee Curtis' character is killed in it. Busta Rhymes as fighting Michael Myers with his kung fu. There's a lot of cheesy stuff here. But it's the 8th in a series of Halloween films. Unlike most people, I didn't mind it. I had fun with it, even. It was cheesy. It was, there's badness to it. But I knew. I'd seen what they'd gone out the Halloween series before. For me, this was far from the worst thing that I'd seen happen to Halloween. A lot of cheesy fun. As you can see that by this time, they've done the Scream thing with the headshots in it. I didn't mind it. That was okay. It had a lot of potential, but a lot of I think in a lot of cases, sometimes I can forgive certain movies because I can see the potential that's there, and that lets me see how much love that was put into the film, and it's there. The love is there. We're here. yep, 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 yep. There's a second disc. It's a 4.5 hour documentary that still doesn't explain what the hell he thought he was thinking. But I can watch this. I'm not gonna lie. I can watch this film. It's okay. Sharon Moon Zombie is actually pretty good in it. I don't mind her. Danielle Harris is beautiful as always. She's great in this. With Forsythe, Brad Dourif actually steals the show. Taylor Compton is good in another movie called The Runaways, and is Markin in this one. Tyler Mane. I feel bad for him because he really wanted to like play Michael Myers, and he got stuck doing this script. It's not a great film, but it is Shakespeare compared to the utter shit show that is Halloween 2. Rob Zombie's this may be the worst movie I have ever seen in my entire life. And I own The Room, Troll 2, but this, and those are fun. This isn't fun. This was a chore for me to watch. You got to see. My son actually does a lot of the review for this movie here, and he tears this one a new one in the review. But the good thing about this one here, look, there's a complete collection bonus disc, and then there's this coaster. It's good to have, I guess. I'm not a fan of like the director's cuts of either one of these films. Really, this one has like a rape sequence put in there that really, really seemed out of place. Just didn't seem like it was needed. It was very classless. But it's a lot of these films like that. That being said, he does do some decent stuff. I did like Devil's Rejects. A lot of people didn't like the one he did recently. Not 31, but the one before that. And I did. I actually enjoyed it. You just don't think he should touch anybody's other work because he just should be doing his own stuff. And even that, he's not really doing his own stuff. It's pretty derivative, but still, at least he's trying, and he does have a passion for film. So I'll give Rob Zombie that. So there we go, guys. We've done it, and just about the exact same time that my other one was. So here, I've completed my Scream Factory collection, part 2. Wow, daunting. And so if you've been watching my videos this weekend, if you for some reason you decided, hey, let's do an Aaron marathon, you've watched my very long videos. Thank you so much. Hopefully you got to see some stuff there, or saw some stuff that you want to rewatch, or see some stuff that you don't have that you want to get. And that's what this is for. Just have some fun. Let me know stuff you want to see more of, stuff you want to see reviews of, and we'll get into that. But right now, guys, for me, it's time for tea.